Here as a spokesman for a group of senators who feel deeply that the expulsion of the Republic of China would be an act of injustice, which would require our reevaluation of the nature and future function of the United Nations. If the Republic of China is expelled, we will immediately introduce legislation calling for a dramatic reduction in the extent of America's financial support of the United Nations. Such legislation would not be intended as a punitive measure. Rather, it would reflect, in our judgment, the downgrading of the role of the United Nations, which would result from its abandonment of principle in order to allow the entry of Peking on Peking's terms. In my discussion with Ambassador Bush, I sought to convey to him the depth of the Congress's feelings on the matter, feelings which reflect an overwhelming sentiment on the part of the American people. I also conveyed my fear that the expulsion of a charter member, an old ally and friend, a government which has meticulously lived up to her international obligations, would serve to fuel the mood of isolationism, which we have seen reflected in the Mansfield Resolution on U.S. participation in NATO. This is a mood which neither the world at large nor the U.S. can afford to encourage.
Senator, in your statement, you said that if nationalist China is expelled, a dramatic reduction should take place in the extent of America's financial support of the UN. Specifically, what do you mean by that? How much money are you talking about?
Right now, we are putting up about 36% of the cash. A couple of nations are not meeting their assessments, as we know. We represent 6% of the, or 10% of the world's people. We have 1/130th of the vote. These give you the downsides. I'm not prepared to discuss the extent of this reduction, but I would say it's meaningful.